Hello there, welcome back to my views and news. Some new stories for you. First one is from the Amhara region, where Amhara regional government has fired a top security official. Third decision by Amhara regional government to fire security officials. The officials, regional government officials working in security department. Security structure, regional security structure in the region is collapsing gradually. That is why regional security officials are being fired. Secondly, Tigray took another step today. Tigray Orthodox Church today took another step when three more bishops were ordained. Tigray Orthodox Church elected 10 bishops a few days ago. 6 were ordained, 4 were remaining, 3 were ordained today. Meanwhile, the main church issued a statement today about Tuesday's meeting. On Tuesday, plenary session of the Orthodox Church is going to start. Thirdly, it was a very important news story from Niger. Africa is turning into a proxy war battleground between global powers. It seems in Niger, military staged a coup 3 to 4 days ago. Now, military is seeking the support of Russian government, while regional African alliance has given a 7-day ultimatum to the military leaders to step down and hand over the president Mohamed Bazoum, who was arrested by military, whose whereabouts are unknown. Lastly, we have Sudan. What is overall situation in Sudan? Has the intensity of fighting decreased? The Rapid Support Force released some police officials, they seem to be old CRP officials released by Rapid Support Forces. Firstly, viewers, Amhara regional security structure is facing serious problems. Fano is gradually making the regional security structure irrelevant in some areas, because we have seen that in Vagaltana, Gashina, Maketh, Maksanat, Eskathima, Dambicha, and several other Digadimot. In several other towns and cities, we saw that Amhara Fano fighters entered town, cities. In some cases, they released their comrades who were in prisons, who were at police stations. And regional police structure, regional militia structure was unable to stop Fano fighters. Ethiopian National Defense Force tried to stop Fano fighters in some cases, but overall, first line of defense for regional government is police. First line of defense is police, militia, then ENDF. But this first line of defense is collapsing. That is why Amhara regional government is firing top regional security officials. 3 days ago, 2 top regional security officials were fired by Amhara regional president. Kefale Esobalio, advisor on peace and security to the regional president, was fired. Mengisha Ororis, deputy chief of peace and security of the region, was fired 3 days ago. And today, another decision, another dismissal, I would say. Director of Peace and Security Bureau fired by the regional president. Gisdevo Tiganao is his name, and a regional president in the order to fire the director of Peace and Security Bureau wrote that he was fired for not fulfilling his responsibilities properly. Now, I wouldn't blame regional security officials, police commanders, militia members. It's not that they are not working. No, they are working. Problem is that they cannot contain Fano factions. They are being threatened, their family members being threatened, and no one is owning the operation against Fano. If you remember, I read a video a few days ago in which I mentioned this point, that political ownership is now gradually missing. When the operation was launched by ENDF and regional forces against Fano a few months ago, federal government, regional government owned the operation. Now ownership is missing. There are no regional government officials backing the operation in public. Rather, they are secretly supporting Fano. They are in touch with Fano faction. Why? Because they are scared. They know their houses can be attacked, their family members can be abducted, they can be assassinated. So how can security officials perform if politicians, if Prosperity Party members are not backing them openly? These security officials, they need backing from government. Government officials, regional ministers, regional cabinet members, they are in hiding. They want to protect themselves, and now everything is being blamed on security officials as if it's their failure. It is being claimed as if it is because of the failure of these security officials, Fano factions have managed to destabilize the Amhara region. No, I wouldn't blame the police. I said on day one, if you remember, that police was not capable enough to stop Fano. Militia members not capable enough to stop Fano. It's on record. Fano factions more organized, better equipped, battle hardened, more resources, modern weapons, huge public support. How can police militia stop them? Police militia members are being used as sacrificial lambs by regional government. And I think these three regional officials who have been fired, they would be happy. Because it is difficult for these government officials to work now, especially in security department, in regional security department. It's difficult for people to work. Because in regional security wing, they have to support the operation against Fano. So they become vulnerable to attacks from Fano. They cannot oppose the operation. At the same time, they know that their capabilities are limited. People are supporting Fano factions. They cannot contain Fano. To contain Fano, regional consensus with involvement of federal forces, federal government is needed, which is missing so far. That is why these regional security officials have been fired, but I think they would be relieved with this decision. Secondly, was Tigray taking gradual steps towards independence. Tigray Orthodox Church, not Tigray region. Independence split with the main church. Tigray archbishops today ordained 3 remaining bishops. A few days ago, Tigray archbishops elected 10 bishops. 6 were ordained, a ceremony was held, and the 6 bishops their appointment was approved by the main archbishops. 4 were remaining. Now 3 were ordained today. Only 1 is remaining. He is Serik Berhan, the bishop based in Australia, who was deported by Ethiopian government when he tried to attend the election of bishops held in Aksum, but he was stopped at Pole airport when he landed at Bole Airport from Australia. He remained in detention at the airport for around 48 hours. Then he was deported to Australia through India. Sereke Berhan could not be ordained because he could not make it to Ethiopia, to Tigray rather. He entered Ethiopia, he couldn't make it to the Tigray region. So 9 ordained out of 10 so far by Tigray Orthodox Church. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, a key meeting of the Orthodox Church is starting. Archbishops from across the world are attending this meeting. Key decisions expected about Tigray's move to elect bishops and establishment of regional independent Menbere Salama. The main church yesterday issued a statement saying that all archbishops must attend the meeting. They will have to abide by the decision of the synod whether they attend the meeting or not. That is what the message was from the main church to all archbishops in Ethiopia, outside Ethiopia as well. So archbishops are starting to arrive in Addis Ababa reportedly. On Tuesday morning meeting will start. It will take some time, maybe a day or two, and then let's see what the church decide. Will it excommunicate Tigray archbishops? Will it take practical measures to stop the gradual divorce between the main church and Tigray Orthodox? That remains to be seen. Thirdly, viewers, is Africa turning into a battleground for proxy war between big powers? African military commanders stage coups, they seize power, and then they are supported. They get support from Russia. Russia-US rivalry is now being fought on African soil. Proxy Russia-US war, Russia-West war is being fought on African soil. They are fighting a war in Ukraine too. Not proxy war, you can say, indirect war, you can say, because obviously NATO is supplying weapons, Europe supplying weapons to Ukraine, but no NATO forces, European forces are in Ukraine. In Africa, proxy wars. In Niger, military staged a coup 3 days ago. After that, French embassy was set on fire in Niger today. And Abdurrahmane, the general who has seized power, he spoke a few hours ago. He said that he would get weapons from his Russian allies. He spoke after regional African bloc ECOWAS issued a statement giving 7-day ultimatum to military junta to step down and hand over Mohamed Bazoum, the Niger's president, who is detained. Mohamed Bazoum was arrested by Abdurrahmane general and his whereabouts are unknown. ECOWAS has given 7-day ultimatum. African Union has given 15-day ultimatum to Niger's military commanders to step down. And ECOWAS has threatened that it would use force if Mohamed Bazoum is not handed over, if military commanders don't step down. And Abdurrahmane, the general who seized power, he is openly saying that he will get weapon support from Russia. So this Russia-West, Russia-America rivalry, Russia-America, Russia-West war, proxy war is being fought on African soil. And France is the victim. French ruled in Africa. Still they are in control in some countries, but gradual rising Russian influence is a pain in the side for France. French embassy set on fire in Niger. I think same happened in Mali too. Military seized power, then military announced to expel French forces from there. Military in power in France, military in power in Mali, in power in Burkina Faso, in power in Niger. And all these leaders have good ties with Russia. In some other countries which are close to China, China is backing military commanders who have staged coups, like in Myanmar. Myanmar military junta is backed by China. So this Russia, China on one side, US West on the other side, proxy war is being fought in different continents of the world. But in Africa, we're seeing more military coups, in West Africa especially. Let's see, will ECOWAS order the deployment and use of its forces? ECOWAS consists of forces of neighboring countries. Will ECOWAS deploy its forces to remove military commanders from power in Niger? We'll see in coming days. And will Russia actively support Niger's military commanders? We'll see. Will Russia send its Wagner fighters? How will it intervene? That remains to be seen. Lastly, we have Sudan. Relative calm in Sudan, by the way, because talks underway. A solution is being discussed. RSF in a better position, but it's not that RSF has won the war. No. Still, Sudan military in control of areas in Khartoum, Bari, Midwan, but RSF in better position. Talks underway in Jeddah. That is why intensity of fighting has decreased. Though some airstrikes were conducted today on Sunday in the northern part of Bahri in response to some attacks. Some missiles were fired by rapid support forces on Wad Sayyidina Air Force Base 2 days ago. That is why strikes were conducted on some RSF positions by Sudanese Air Force in northern part of Bahri. Overall, relative calm. So we'll try to update you more once there is activity on the ground. So far, people are hoping that Jeddah talks succeed. Jeddah talks can only succeed if Sudan's military is ready to make some concessions. Will Sudan's military make concessions? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, RSF have released some CRP members, Central Reserve Police members, old members, I think former CRP members, retired one, I think they've released by rapid support forces. RSF shared a video showing the release of police officials today. Watch the video. Thank you for watching.